Hi, this is Yvonne Pren from Effective Church Communications, and today I'm going to talk about templates, and specifically what makes the Effective Church Communication templates unique and how to modify and produce them for your church. So let's get started. The templates that we have are one of the most popular and useful parts of our website, primarily because they save you so much time. Everything is done for you. The layout is there. The artwork is all totally legal and copyright free. The typefaces have been selected for you, or you can change them and make them whatever you want. The text is done and they are ready to print. Now, I've also designed them so that really hopefully anybody can use them. I have them for you in ready to print PDF format so that you can just run them off, use them as is, use whatever program you want on the back to add your own personal information, or you might not even need to do that. For example, look at the Easter connection cards and the Christmas feedback cards. You can just run those off. Boom, you're ready to go. Use them as is. Very, very easy. But if you want to modify them, you can do that in Microsoft Publisher. And I chose Microsoft Publisher because it is the most widely used program in churches. Very inexpensive. You don't have to go the route of the fancy high-end programs, Photoshop or InDesign or any of the Illustrator, any of that kind of stuff. You can do it all in Microsoft Publisher. And in a few minutes, I will be demonstrating for you how that works. Now, let me talk for a few minutes what makes the Effective Church Communication templates unique. First of all, they're much more than just an item to get people to one event or something to use as a connection card or whatever, although that's fine, and there are lots of great services out there that provide this type of thing. But what really makes us unique, what I have labeled our unique characteristic number one, is that the templates in Effective Church Communications are really part of an overall strategy. For example, on seasonal templates, this is one of the main reasons people want the templates. I have a whole program, and there is a training video on this that you can access through the website, but entitled Successful Seasonal Strategy: How to Grow Your Church in Numbers and Your People in Spiritual Maturity. And what this is it shows you the communications that you need, not just to get people to the event, but before, during, and after the event. Let me explain this in a little more detail. Design for Effective Church Communications is really secondary to the purpose. The templates are in some ways more of a reminder of what you need to do with these communications, again, particularly with the seasonal ones. You need beforehand, you need to motivate your congregation, you need to give them invitations. During it, you need to explain what's going on and connection cards, and afterwards you need follow-up materials, and postcards are one of the best ways to do this. Now, of course, you're going to be using your social media and all digital means. Right now we're talking about print. Of course, that isn't the entire picture, but to really accomplish things of lasting value in your church, you need communications in each of these areas. The overall goal, of course, is to introduce people to Jesus and help them grow to spiritual maturity. Now, let me show you how this works out in practice with our set of Christmas templates. We're going to go to the website Effective Church Communications, effectivechurchcom.com, and we are going to go to the template icon and click that. And as you can see, we have a number of sets of templates. If you haven't been on this section before, please take a few minutes to read over what the usage rights and all of that, what that's all about. It's not all that complex, but you might want to read it. And now let's just go to Christmas templates. And here you can see we have a lot of different templates. Now, if you already know which one you want to use, you could just jump right to it. But let me just skim through it for you and show you what I mean by needing communications and us providing them before, during, and after. Here we have a whole set of Christmas invitations, the regular business card type ones. And the way I designed them this year is where they're really very simple on one side, and then on the back side you could put all of your social media to explain things in more detail to people. So we have the regular business card size, and then I'm so excited about this. I'm going to show you this more in just a few minutes and how to get them printed. But the square business card size, this is kind of a big deal today. We have templates for you in that. We have also the mini business card size. This is another type that's a very big deal today. And again, I'll be showing you how to modify and print them in just a few minutes. And then, of course, we have your standard postcards. And on any of the sets, all you have to do is click on one of them, and then you can just skim through and look at the different designs, see what you like. And once again, you can modify them on the back, do what you want to with them. And then the vertical size postcards, you see all of these are designed to give out ahead of time. Now, in addition to just something like the postcards, we have some motivational church bulletin inserts where here's a great idea. Invite your friends to church this Christmas season, or 4 reasons why I should bother to pray, ask, and remind people to come when I'd rather just sit around munching sugar cookies. And we have the reasons for your people. Life is scary, people are lonely, everyone needs a purpose. We're all going to live forever. Most folks today believe that, and the Bible agrees. The question is, if you're going to live forever, what neighborhood will you live in? And it really is an evangelism challenge for people. And then not only that, but we have these motivational handouts, but then we also have on the back side where people can actually write down the name of their friends that they're going to be praying for. So you see, this is just really important because you want to motivate people so that when you give them postcards to mail out to friends, invitations, they really know why they're doing it and they're praying for their friends. You see, this is so much more effective, so much more important in growing your people in Christian maturity if you do this overall as a church instead of just the church buying, some direct mail piece and sending it out there and getting a certain percentage or whatever. No, no, no. This, you are getting your people involved in outreach. And then I did another set of why invite people. Then I also did up, and this is something that's been very, very popular. Hark the Herald Angels Sing, but why? This is something that people can use to put in their Christmas letters. We print a bunch of these up for our Sunday school classes, and then people put them in Christmas letters. They hand them out where they work or all kinds of different things. But it's just a really neat little evangelism presentation for Christmas. Then here we have Christmas event registration cards. This now we're moving into what you do during the event. Now these are not connection cards. This is when maybe you have a Christmas tree lighting or a cookie exchange or something, some sort of a party, whatever. And what you can do with these is you can make them up, and this is for people to register for a drawing. What we've done in the past is we had a Christmas party with a singles ministry we did and just a number of other things, but we'd have a great big giant basket filled with all kinds of goodies, and that would be, we'd have a drawing for that, but we'd tell people we'd like to have you register for this, and we're very upfront about it. Take a minute, fill this out so that we can have a record of your attendance and a way to contact you about future events. Be assured this information will not be shared or used outside the church office, and you can have your name removed from the list at any time just by calling the church office. So, and I try to do things in a number of different designs, from maybe more old-fashioned ones to more contemporary, to just a variety of things for you. And then, in addition to just these event registration cards, I do have your regular Christmas connection cards. And these are what you would give to people when they come to your Christmas service. Another thing, Christmas feedback cards, sometimes that's a little more less intimidating than a connection card or whatever. But again, the whole idea is to get contact information from people. And I have another set of those. And then this is super important. This is another thing on what we do regularly, where I have bookmarks that you can make up for people. And, thank you so much for sharing your Christmas with us, and then more about the church where you have your connections for your website, your Facebook, your Instagram, Twitter, whatever, where people can find out more about you. And then some of the cards also have a place on the back where you can modify them and tell them what you do regularly. A lot of times if people say come to a Christmas Eve service, something like that, that's not what you regularly do. So you want to let people know what you've got going on for children, for youth, for seniors, Bible studies, whatever. If you perhaps have some follow-up studies going on, something on your website, again, very important to give out this information. In addition to the bookmarks, I also have a flyer that you can do, very simple one, but this makes all the difference in the world. Because we do things differently for our Christmas service, below is an overview of activities and times for what we do regularly. Please join us, and here you just fill in what you do regularly. I find it amazing how so many churches just assume that if you put on a great Christmas service or whatever, that they will immediately come next Sunday because they know that your church meets at 10:45 and you have programs for children, adults, and whatever. Of course they don't know. So you have to let them know, and this template will make it very easy for you to do that. And then this is something that you can use, either give it out at the service or you can use it for a follow-up card. Because he didn't stay a baby, we want to tell you the rest of the story. And this gets people to realize that there's more to the Christian faith than just singing happy songs at Christmas time. And on this you can link them to websites. I encourage you to perhaps have follow-up Bible studies, things on your social media, whatever, but it's to take people to the next step in exploring the Christian faith. So then, in addition to that, I did a longer piece on because he didn't stay a baby. Again, something that you could perhaps put in your Christmas program, whatever. And again, I would encourage you things on the back, studies, website links, that kind of thing. Then after the event's over, I did up some follow-up postcards for you. This one here, Christmas a bit much. After all the food, festivities, ho, 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 and perhaps a church service thrown in, do you ever wonder why all the bother? Certainly didn't seem worth it for the commercial excesses all around us. But what if it really was about God becoming human? What if the ancient prophecies that God would be with us to show us what God was like and how to live in a way that pleases him were true? That would be worth celebrating. We think that is what Christmas is really about, and we'd love to discuss it with you. On the back of this card are ways we can connect. So you see, you can send that out afterwards as a follow-up piece, and then I have a little bit more understated ones. Have questions about Christmas or anything else about the Christian faith? Have coffee with us, discuss answers. Have questions about Christmas? Have latte with the pastor, get answers. But something like this is a great way to follow up, and it's not just as, sort of blatant as, oh, come back to church next Sunday. It seeks to answer their questions, give your people, your visitors, a way to explore the Christian faith more. And then, of course, you want to thank the people that work so hard in making Christmas a success. So there's a whole set of Christmas thank you cards. Our church shines more brightly because you're part of it. The women's ministry, your help with Christmas outreach was a gift to the church. We can't thank you enough. And again, just a way to thank people. And then, of course, you could put on the back a picture of yourself, pastor, whatever, personally thanking people. And by the way, that's me, and that's my husband, and this was a picture that was taken at our church. And so you can personalize things just however you want, and that works out really well. And then, of course, couldn't do Christmas without a recipe. So you see, these are just one of the sets of templates, and they're ones for different holidays, and we'll be doing more and more all the time for you to use in your church. But I hope you can see that our templates are much more of an overall strategy and not just an invitation to get people to come to the church. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's all you download and use, hey, go for it. Now, that's not all that makes our template sets unique. Unique, we have what I call text templates. And these are both shorter and longer selections of all kinds of things that I've written out for you to be able to use. All of them in our sets are written by me, Yvonne Pran. I'm a professional writer, have been for many, many years, and I own the copyright to all of these things, and I freely grant that to you to use with or without attribution. And people have used these very successfully over the years. Everything from really short things on Easter invitations. How's Easter about the cross and the bunny? Makes much more sense than you might believe. In many cultures, bunnies symbolize life, rebirth, tradition of a spring bunny bringing gifts to children. And then I talk about how the cross, though first a symbol of death, now also is an image of life and life eternal. And so there's a whole bunch of Easter invitations that have different things on them. I already showed you the one for on why invite friends to church, and I've redone that for different holiday seasons because it's just really important. And repetition is good in your church. That's not bad, but you want to be continuously telling people about that. So lots of different templates, a similar context. The one on Hark the Herald Angels thing, I showed that to you. This has again been very, very popular. One of my favorite uses of it a few years ago, a lady called me and we had kind of a bad connection and I didn't understand her accent. And I said, she called me to see if she could use them. And I said, yeah, for sure. I said, but where are you? Tell me why you want to use them. And she said, we are an English speaking church in Taiwan. And we want to use this as our outreach piece for Christmas this year. And that was just so exciting to me. And you see, you can really use these anywhere that you are in the world in any way that you want. This one Mother's Prayer, this has probably been published more than anything else I've ever written. It's been used all over the world. It was one of the best of 10 years of writing for today's Christian woman. But it's a true story about a mom and how she prayed for her son and how I won't tell you what happens. You have to read that. But again, you can use these in any way you want, not just on the templates, on your website, in other publications, however you would like to use them. And I want you to make them work for you. You can move around the images, make them larger, smaller, add your church's logo. You can change the type. I go through phases on the type. Sometimes I use really fancy type and all of that and make it download with a PDF. And sometimes I just use Calibri and Cambria, the typical ones in Microsoft. It just kind of depends on the mood I'm in, but you can change the type however you want. You can change the tone by your type, by your images, from more contemporary to more traditional to more edgy, just whatever you would like to do. You can change the wording. Now, please, on the stuff that I've written, the lengthier things, please don't change the wording on those. Those are kind of like how they ought to be. But of course, you change, how you invite people, want them to come back to your church, whatever you want to do. And then you want them to fit your needs, your style, your church culture. That's why they're templates for you to do them up that way. And then I'm going to show you what I mean by this, and not only on modifying them, however you want them to work out, but then there's all kinds of things you can do to get them printed in different ways. And let me show you what I mean on that. Okay, we're going to go back to the website. Now, let's go ahead and I'll show you how you download them and then how this all works. Now, if you're not a member of Effective Church Communications, you won't even be able to see this download. You have to be a member, and that's very inexpensive. It's just $9.99 a month, and right now we've got this great sale going on where it's $59 a year. So you sign up, you become a member, and then you click on this zip file to download the zip file. You download the zip file, and then click on it. And then you'll notice it comes up as a zipped file, and then you just hit this little button that says extract all, and you want to keep it in the same folder and just hit extract, open it up. And now we're going to go to the Microsoft Publisher file. And ta-da, here we are in Microsoft Publisher. Now, I designed these cards for in-house printing, and you can just print them up, and they have a little border around them. That's why they have the white border. And so you can modify them in whatever way you want. You will, of course, want to just put in, our church at the beach.com. I live in Ventura, California, so whatever you would want to do it, Facebook, whatever. Put in your main time. I put in kind of a funny little saying here because I thought you'd be giving this out to unchurched people, but you could certainly change it. The one that I have is Christmas can't be brought from a store. Maybe Christmas means a little bit more by Dr. Seuss, but you could put in a Bible verse, just whatever you want. If you want to change the typeface, of course, you could do that. Let's just say maybe we want it to be Arial narrow, or that's kind of boring, or we want something a little more formal. We'll go Bondini. That looks kind of fancy. Just, whatever you want to do, you can make the different changes. Now, let me show you something really kind of fun. And I was really quite excited how this worked out. And by the way, too, I have blank backgrounds, which if you're printing them up on your laser printer or inkjet, this saves ink. But if you want to get them professionally printed, this is what I did. Take this example. Now, I have used a lot of the different online printers, and by the way, just this is a reminder that Effective Church Communications does not take any advertising or affiliate marketing. We don't do any of that. I will recommend to you things that I like, that I have found that work, but I don't get anything out of it. So I got to thinking that, I just love these little cards, and I thought, it would be really nice to have them be a full bleed and, be professionally printed and little slick, just really looking nice and professional. So I went on to all of the different, and I've used a number of them before, but the different online printing sites, and the one that I'm going to show you is Overnight Prints, and I'll demonstrate why I really like this in just a minute. But you go to get it ready for online printing. This I've already put, it's the size in the template that they require for the printing, and all you have to do is you just stretch out the background to the edges. And like I said, this is the size that they require. And then I'm going to do this, going to do this. And then for online printing, again, it's just a super simple thing. Let me just make it get all the way to the edge there. What you do is you save it then. You save it as a JPEG. Okay, what you do is you just go JPEG. And then now you want to change this to 300 dpi because it's for commercial printing. And change the title to Front of Christmas Invitation. Okay, I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go to, let's pretend that I modified all of this. I'm just wanting you to see the process, and I'm going to save that also. Let's go to the overnightprints.com site. This is where it's so simple. Like I said, there's a number of different groups that do this, but they can be so complicated. Here, all you do is upload your own completed design. I save those as a 300 dpi JPEG. I just hit upload design and then the back, and that's all there is to that. You can zoom in if you want to check it out, and you can see everything looks just great. And then you just do next, and you can see how it's going to look. Isn't that the cutest little thing? Now, I don't think we don't really want 1,000 cards, so you can get however many you want. And then you continue to the shopping cart. And that's all there is to that. Don't ask for this professional file review because that's a pain in the neck. But anyway, you just do it and then order it, check out, and that's all there is to that. One of the things I just really like about this, Vistaprint, which I've gotten a lot of things done in the past, they just bug you with all kinds of extra stuff and junk and all that. But this, it's very quick, very easy, and just doesn't take any time at all, and you are done. This is a little bit blurry, but I wanted you to see. I actually did order the cards, and they just it's on my desk. But and they came out really well. I was just absolutely thrilled. But I just wanted to make sure that it worked out as well as I thought it would, and it did. And so I just really encourage you. It's a great way to do something different as a Christmas invitation, not only for Christmas, but for any time of the year. I hope you've gotten the idea of how you can modify them, how you can really make them work for your church, and a very easy and inexpensive way to get them printed professionally. Here's how to get the templates for your church. They're available at effectivechurchcom.com. Please do sign up for the newsletter on the website because then you'll find out when new ones are created and available for you. Now, again, you must be a member of Effective Church Communications. We've got this great sale going on right now where membership's just $59 a year. That's $5 a month. I mean, you can't beat it to get all kinds of seasonal invitations and other ones for your church. Remember, these templates not only can be used one at a time for just, an invitation or a connection card or whatever, but they are part of an overall program for the holidays to help you connect with people before, during, and after, and always as part of the way to enable your church to fully fulfill the Great Commission, which we define as helping people come to know Jesus as Savior and to grow to spiritual maturity in Him. For more on this whole process and other church communications, please go to effectivechurchcom.com, and may the Lord greatly bless you as you serve Him today in church communications.